Hi, and welcome back to another episode of Girl Games Wow. This is Silvana. We're coming up out of town to go down towards the next quest. You'll notice from our level in our bar that this is directly after our dungeon episode yesterday. So we're gonna have, well, we don't have to, but my plan is to intersperse these because every time we're gonna do a dungeon, at least this low, it's probably going to level us a level or two. So the plan is to run a dungeon and then do some quests because we want to make sure to do these quests while they're still worth a good amount of points for us. It's a long walk down to where we need to go. So we have our rollout. We could use that, make it a little faster. And we seem to be a little laggy today, so, well, there's a first for you. I've been, I got stuck with a lot. I've never had that happen. So fun stuff happens when you get laggy, even though I'm running at 20 FPS. There seems to be something going on maybe with my net. So, but I still want to show, even with the lag, now I wouldn't want to run a dungeon with this lag. So who wants us to kill us up here? You can still play, especially if you're in zones where there's not a lot of other players. If you're in a really, really busy area, it will lag you out a little more. Being on a wireless connection like I am lags you a little bit. You're always going to get a stronger connection if you're connected directly to your modem, of course. So the dude we want to kill is in there. So we just go in and kill him. And you notice as soon as we oh, we're gonna crash, guys. We went red. Alright, and welcome back. We did have some technical issues, and I'm sorry about that. Due to those issues, we have occurred our first death. So this is what it looks like when you die. This is something I was hoping not to show you guys for a while, but that's what happens. It'll give you a little arrow right in front of you where your body is, also on the map. When you're dead, obviously nothing can attack you. Also, if there's any water, you can walk on the water. So if you happen to have died underwater for like a quest and you need to get back there, you'll have to take your mouse and click both clicks, the right and the left, and pull it down to make yourself go under the water as a ghost. And when we get to some place where there's deep water and there's quests in that water, I'll show you what I mean. Okay, so here we are, back to the quest. We'll want to give it just a few seconds, let my health regen. We should be good there. And we're going to just go up and kill it. He's not really hard, and if we hadn't had the problem with the internet that we had, he wouldn't have killed us. Alright, so that quest is done. Go back out. You'll have to probably fight a couple of these guys. Again, they're not hard, especially since you see how they're green. That means that these quests are now considered easy to us. And that's because of the leveling that the dungeon gave us. Like I said before, dungeoning, going in dungeons is completely a personal choice. It is not required in any way to play the game. You can level just fine without it. Obviously, if you're looking to level quicker, then going into dungeons is going to be something you're going to look to do. Alright, so they want some tunnel rat surveyors, which is across the road. And so we'll go over there. Now these quests all kind of pile into each other. You get this one, and then you'll get another one that sends you over here as well. You notice there's a double lap of blue there. That's because you're supposed to kill 5 of each kind. He'll come back. Maybe he'll bring a friend or two with him when he does. This is a mechanic of monsters that I am not a fan of. There is a spell. We as monks do not happen to get it, but quite a few classes do, that work as a fear or confuse. It's called a couple different things depending on what class of character you are. To me, if I want him to run away and I had that spell, I would use that spell. I don't understand the mechanics of them running away in fear. Although we haven't really done it this playthrough quite yet, but it is possible for your player to also run away in fear. So, and that's both by your command and by spell. Just like you can cast that spell on others, fear or confusion, or I don't remember what all else they're called. Of course, they can be cast on you both by monsters and by other players if you happen to PvP. So, if you suddenly start running around, depends on what race you are. Now this one breaks me free of things that freeze me. Humans have one, looks kind of like a purplish gray base called Every Man for Himself. That will break you from a fear or confusion attack. And I think they might be the only. Each race has their own thing that breaks certain stuff. So, like for the gnome, it's break from being frozen. For humans, it's break from being feared. Draw and I have one, and don't ask me right now what it is because I can't think of the other races. Alright, so we killed an NPC, yeah. So we'll pick up its stuff. I don't want to go too far to the right here if I can avoid it. And the NPC thing's not going to close itself. Sometimes it will. And that pop-up is because I have NPC scanner on here. So I'm not finding a lot of foragers. I'm finding a lot of surveyors. Here's a forager. I don't want to get too outnumbered here. Okay. So I need one more forager, no, two more foragers, and a surveyor. So here's the surveyor. So we'll kill him. He's probably going to pull that other guy towards us. And hopefully yes, he is what we need. Like I said, I don't worry so much, A, because they're green to me now, B, because I can heal myself, and C, because I know the only reason we've died is because of a disconnect. So I'm not going to count that, although it is the first official death of the on the channel. And I'm going to be honest and say, yeah, we died. I'm not going to lie and say, no, we've never died. But I'm going to say that due to the fact that that was beyond the player's control, that's a forager, doesn't count as our death. So we have yet to get ourselves killed, I guess is what I'm trying to say on that. Don't worry, we will. Not that I'm in a hurry to do so, but it'll happen. It just will. And so don't worry about that kind of stuff. If you die, I don't care if you die once, if you die 100 times, especially if you're new to the game. Death doesn't really do any harm to you, really. I mean, yeah, once you hit level 10 or 15, I know by now, either way, where you have to do it. Whether you die or not, every so often you have to stop at the repair shop and repair your gear, because now the hits do damage to you, where when you're very first starting they don't. But, so, dying doesn't really raise your repair rate much. I mean, if you got hit, you got hit. You're going to have to repair that hit if you die or if you live. It doesn't take any XP from you unless you choose to do some other stuff. Here, we need to move that just a little bit that way. Okay. So, we just got another achievement. Okay, so these two are going to send us, oh, should be 3, and there's third. These 3 are going to all send us inside the mine. So to get in the mine, first we need to go back up where we were. We're going to follow the road. Now, roads like this are not 100% safe. Monsters can jump on them, but they're safer than the wild grass. So, since we're a little over leveled for this area anyway, I'm going to try not to pick up too many fights. Fucker. I ain't gotta stand here and wait for him to come back, because of this crap. Oh, and now I've been disoriented. Fudge you. Take that and live. I'm gonna try to not get into too many fights and then a boom fight, right? Okay, fine. They want to fight me. They don't want to let me just walk in here and do my quests and get the hell out. And I'm noticing that where the stuff around that one boss we had to go kill was green, some of these are green and some of these are yellow still. So we're not too far out of range here. Don't feel that the second you see the numbers go green, that means you have to leave. There's plenty of good experience still here. Come on, other Geomancer. Someday you'll get the hell back over here. Oh, you're. Problem again with these things that run. If they're a magic user and they run away, they'll run part of the way back to you, and then they'll stop, and then they'll attack you from far away. I hate that mechanic of this game so much. Yes, we are going to probably go way over the amount of Geomancers we need for this quest. Again, pick up the glowy crates. I love when I hit the button and it doesn't do what I want it to. God, that's just a great, great, great feeling. Okay, so the dude we need is in the back. I don't know this tunnel system very well. And the map doesn't do you jack good. So it looks like either would be fine. And then watch me be wrong. I'm not real sure. Yup, uh-huh. Like I said, we're going to end up with extra. Now, you'll also notice that if you get too high for an area and the things have gone gray, like if I was in here with my level 100, which of course this is way low for that guy, or I should say girl, I would literally probably have to pretty much run solidly through one of these monsters to make it pull on me. I mean, I'd have to cut it really, really close to get the monster to pull on me. So, like I said, since you're looking for gear in the boss, you're going to end up overfighting or overkilling. So here's the boss for this area. Okay, now remember when I told you your job is to stay out of the fire? This is what I meant. Literally, I'm in a fire. I didn't care, so I just stood there. But you really shouldn't. And then when we go a little higher, and we find one that does poison pools, I'll show you what that looks like. And there's other ones, the whiplash, I call it. I don't know, the ground shaky one. Alright, so we have all 3 of these quests done. We're gonna head back towards the turn-in. Out is almost always easier than in. Then I'm gonna get my bearings. Go back out. Again, I'm gonna stay on this little path because while it's not 100% safe, it should be better than walking down in the grass. You notice I kind of bounce from side to side on it as well. If I see a monster on one side of the road, I will try and scooch towards the other so that it doesn't have the opportunity to pull on me. So we're going to go turn these in. So we're going to give him that and that. Okay, so better armor, less intel, can't use a shield, and that sucks. So they're all enchanted. So I'll just grab one. So I'll disenchant it for our professions. Okay, now he has a quest, but it's grayed out to us. And I don't know why. That is intriguing. Alright, well let's look through, make sure we didn't get anything good. That's intellect plus spirit. Those are good for healer stats, so we'll put that on. Okay, so here's something I don't think we've seen before. Equipping this item will bind it to you. So what that means is sometimes when you pick an item up that's special, it's soulbound. That means only you can have it and you can sell it to a vendor. Some of them won't be bind when equipped. And if you get something like that and you don't need it, you can always sell it on the AH. And once you equip it though, then it becomes yours permanently and nobody else can have that but you. Okay, so we got a bag, but we don't really need it because we upped bags. But we have a bank, so we'll stick this in a bag over here for the bank. Food we don't need. Bow is crap. This might sell well at the AH. Crap, crap, crap. This needs to be turned in. And this is going to go. I'll just make a pile over there for disenchanting things. This is a question. Now, when Blizzard announced Mists of Pandaria, they said they were going to do some things with the bags, and so we can talk about that as we walk up to this tournament. They said they were going to allow you to have stacks of more than 20, and they have allowed that. Or not Mists of Pandaria, sorry, when they dropped Warlords of Draenor. Before Warlords dropped, which was earlier this year? No, sorry, last year, 2014. Each thing could stack, some of them can't even stack that high, but the things that can stack, like your cloth and things like that, could only stack in stacks of 20. And then you had to start a new pile of it. And it took up a lot of bag space. So when they dropped Warlords, one of the things that they were going to do about that is they were going to allow those stacks to be 200 instead of 20. They did do that, and I'm very thankful that they did, because if you do any kind of professions, you will find that you hold a lot of crap. And it can take up a metric ton of bag space. Okay, so here's the turn in. So turn that in. Receiver. Okay, speak with somebody. Now usually if it's speak, the quest isn't going to be that far away. And I see the question mark. I bet she's in the building. Let's go look. Not up there. Yep. So turn that in. But one of the other things it said it was going to do is if you had a quest item, like the head we had to turn in just now, then that also wasn't supposed to be in your bag anymore. And it still is. So that's unfortunate. Alright, so let's look at the map. Okay, so they need us to kill, this is going to be Murloc who we need to kill for the Scent Gland, and Crocolisks and Buzzards. So they wander around all over down here by the lake. Also remember, we had that grayed out quest way up here at Alcaz Station that we couldn't pick up. But I think our time is pretty long, so we're going to park ourselves in the inn right here. And the next time on Girl Games WoW, we're going to do a new, I was going to do the next dungeon next episode, but since we are where we are with the leveling in this area, and the dungeons will stay good to us for a while longer, I think maybe I'll do the dungeons a little later, closer to, where am I now? 17. They go all the way up to, like, I think it's 21 for these bottom two that you get at first. Yeah, this one's 21 and this one's 25. So we'll run rage. We will random whichever one of these three pops up, and if it happens to be dead mines, we will leave and try it again until we get the one of the three we need, and we'll keep doing that. And I want to take 2 seconds to talk about a way to get around that. But we want to get Ragefire done before, around 20 at the latest, and then Wailing Caverns we can wait till about 24 to do, and Shadowfang Keep you can wait all the way up to 25 to do, and that wouldn't be a problem. It'd be green, so you won't get as much experience as you would if you ran it right now, but that's okay. We're not so worried about the experience. On dungeons, a little, you can call it a cheat or a help, whichever way you want to look at that, for them is if you have a few friends, or you're in a guild like we are that has some characters that are our level, which this guild doesn't really, what you can do is outside of the group or outside of the dungeon finder, you can build a group. So to do that, what you do is you pull up like your friends list. Here's mine. And you can have either, now these are all BattleNet friends. And then this is my guild list. So I'll show, your regular friend list, if they're not BattleNet friends, will look a little bit more kind of like this than these. So I'm not going to actually do it, but if you have some friends that you want to play with, what you do is here, if it's a BattleNet friend, you can just hit this plus, and it'll immediately invite them to your group. If they're a regular friend, what you do is you click them and hit invite. And again, you'll invite them to your group. Again, I'm not going to actually do randomly group somebody. People don't like that. So, what you can do is a dungeon takes one healer, one tank, and 3 DPSs. So, as the more of those slots you can pre-build out of the dungeon finder, the better you're going to be, because when you go to click it, okay, remember we were talking about doing randoms, because every time you run a random, it gives you that special prize. So if you have a pre-built group, like I had some friends on and one's a tank, even if I just had some friends on and one's a tank, and we were in a group already together, and I hit find group, the queue's going to go off pretty much instantaneously, because DPSs are pretty quick to find. But if you have the whole group built, then you can take your 5 people and get your satchel of helpful goods without having to wait for the finder to pop you group. Also, again, I'm going to look at the achievements that's bound to Y on your keyboard. So these are my achievements. These are all the achievements I have completed between all of my tombs. That's not just this character. It's every character I've ever played. These are all the ones that I've done. If you're in a guild, your guild has achievements as well. And this guild, like I said, is very, very active. They've got all their quests done. They have all their reps done. They have almost all the dungeons and raids done. They have professions maxed. They have player versus player about halfway done. They have the general ones. They're too short of being done on that. So this guild is a super active guild. A lot of guilds won't quite be this busy, but that was part of the reason why I asked these guys if I could join, is because I know that they raid, and in game I'm looking at maybe doing that. So, in your guild, there is achievements for dungeons. Now, like I said, they've already done all theirs, but here's the classic. This happens to be raids here at the top, and then under those 4 are all of the dungeons. So if your group is 5 people from your guild that you build outside, and then you get your random, you will get not only each person that goes will get a satchel of helpful goods for them, plus extra money, plus all the stuff you get as you go through the dungeon. When you finish, you yourself will get the achievement for running that dungeon, and your guild will as well, and you'll get experience and achievement points for that as well. So keep that in mind if you're looking to do things, is if you can group things together as much as possible, do so. All right, so that's been this episode. Again, sorry we went a little long. Thank you for watching Girl Games Wow. Like and subscribe, tell all your friends, and have a nice day.